So today we'll be looking at the best Chinese fountain pens. I'm going to rank a majority of my fountain pens that I have bought off eBay from China from best to worst, and I'll give you a little bit of an overview about them. The reason I'm doing this is because if you go on eBay, type in fountain pen, click the result to be from China, you're going to get a wash of a whole bunch of fountain pens. Some of them are actually awful, and some of them are actually pretty good. Compared to, well, how much you paid for them. So today I thought I should rank them from best to worst. Now the pens that I'm going to be ranking are the pens that you should be able to buy on eBay and be shipped towards you. I know there's a whole bunch of fountain pens out there that I probably can buy, or you can buy, maybe from India or wherever, that might not be able to be shipped towards you. So I'm going to be picking the pens that everyone should be able to buy across the globe. So let's get into it. So starting off our list this time, we have the Hero 366. Now, this is also known as the Midget Mini Fountain Pen, or the Mini Parker 51, or whatever you want to call it. And the reason why it's called this is because it is tiny. It is absolutely a tiny little pen. However, when you do go ahead and post it, it actually does boost to a reasonable length, which can fit in your hand all right. The reason why it's going to take the 5th spot on this list is because of inconsistencies with the nib. I have had 3 of these because I got them shipped to me in a bundle of 3. 2 of them flat out refused to work. One of them that also flat out refused to work leaked from the bladder out the back and would not hold a full bladder full of ink. As well as that, these pens were really inconsistent on how they wrote. One of them was completely bone dry, as dry as the bloody Gobi Desert, and one of them pissed out ink as fast as you could imagine. They are really inconsistent pens, and as well as that, the overall build quality of these pens is not good. Yes, these pens cost about $1 each, which is not much for a pen. However, there are other fountain pens here which cost $2 and feel really substantial. This feels really pathetic. The plastic in here is really thin, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of these broke if I sat down on it in my pocket. As well as that, the cap also wants to continuously force itself off the end of the pen. So for all these reasons, I'm going to give this 5th on this list, the lowest place possible. So coming in at number 4, we have this. This looks like a Lamy Safari, but obviously it's in this video, so it's not. This is actually a Jinho 599A. You can pick these up on eBay for about $1.50 to about $2, and as it suggests, this is a fake Lamy Safari. And this knockoff Lamy Safari takes the 4th spot in this list for many reasons. The first reason is if you get the fine nib, which I bought 4 of. I bought quite a lot of these pens. The fine nib tends to be incredibly scratchy. As well as that, the ink flow in these pens is really inconsistent. I had some nibs that would gush ink and some nibs that would run dry. This pen here is the one that I made more flexible, but that is not really the issue, because yes, you can buy 10 of these pens, and yes, maybe 5 of them will work well, some of them might not be good. The issue with these pens is a systematic problem of the threads cracking along here. So the threads are supposed to be along here that allow you to screw this into here. And a problem that I've had with heaps of these pens is the threads are about 1 millimeter thick, and that is seriously enough for it to snap at any random point. Instant and random snap. That's what happens. Try telling that to the fountain pen lord. These pens are not long lasting. I've had 3 of these pens snap now, and I've seen on the fountain pen subreddit, I've seen quite a lot of these pens break in the exact same way. So if you buy one of these pens for $1.50, be prepared to buy more than one. So for this reason, it's going to be number 4 on the list. And for this reason, I sound exactly like the guys on Shark Tank. And for this reason, it is out. Let's get on to the next one. Coming in at number 3 on this list, we have this pen here. This is the Hero 616. This is the scaled up version of the scaled down pen that was in spot number 5. This pen was actually a scaled down version of this pen, which is a rip-off of the Parker 51. That's actually a much more accurate thing to say. This is a Parker 51 knockoff. It even has the Parker arrow clip right here, and this pen is a big step up from the Jinho 599 and the much smaller Hero 366. This pen I actually use quite often. This is a bladder-filled pen like the Hero 366, but this one actually works. Yes, you won't get a full fill, it might stop along here, but in my experience of having 2 of these pens, both of them work well and both of them are really consistent. In fact, I'd left this pen in a box for about 3 weeks now because I haven't been using it for a while. I took it out and it almost worked instantly. This pen is pretty good. Not all the nibs are perfect though. You will get some nibs like this one that are a bit scratchy, but when I say a bit scratchy, results may vary obviously because they're going to pump these out by the million and the quality control is not going to be amazing, and that can be said for all these cheap Chinese pens. But the thing that sets this pen out from the 2 pens below is you can seriously use this pen all the time. It's a pen that, if you buy, should be easy to use. You should be able to use it all the time. It shouldn't let you down. This pen's going to cost about $2, and for that, you probably should buy one in a pack of 3 or so. For a pack of 2 or 3, they should cost about $4 or $5, so you should at least be able to have a backup pen in case this one is crap or whatever. You have a few backup options. As well as that, the feed threads, so the threads along here are much sturdier than they were on the 2 previous pens, and in my entire time of using this pen, I have not had any of these break on me, which is good. So, coming in at place number 2, we have another Parker ripoff. This is a Parker Sonnet ripoff, a pen that I actually love quite a lot. So hopefully the fake of this pen is actually really good. And obviously it's really good because it's going to be number 2 on this list. This is the Bayer 388 fountain pen. This pen comes with a nice little number 5, number 4, don't know which size, medium nib. This nib is really smooth. It's good. I have 2 of these pens and both of them are pretty consistent and they're really nice pens to write with. If you didn't tell me that this pen cost $2, I wouldn't think it, because the cap actually fits and it's pressurized and such, so you get a nice click when you put it on. This is a whole stainless steel body, so it will not break. Even the threads are amazing. Fully metal threads, so you can batter this pen, and well, not physically batter it, don't put fish batter on it, but you can knock this pen around and it will survive. There's no way that this pen's going to break or anything. In terms of writing, absolutely beautiful. I think this is an amazing pen. If you like small pens, this is probably the way to go. If you do like small pens, this should be in place number 1, not place number 2. So what could possibly be in place number 1? So what could possibly be number 1? Well, I think everyone knew what number 1 was going to be. It's going to be shared by these 2 pens, the Jinho X750 and the Jinho X450, a pen that you can buy pretty much everywhere online. In fact, Goulet pens have these pens here for about $9 US, but you should be able to find these on eBay for about $3.50, which is a little bit more expensive than you're going to find the other pens, but considering that it's only $3.50, it's going to blow everything from Pilot and Lamy out of the water. So pretty much these pens come with large number 6 nibs. These nibs are medium, and honestly they will blow you away for $3.50. Honestly, these nibs are brilliant for people that like bigger pens. These pens offer quite a bit of line variation, and they are just all-round nice nibs. The difference between these two pens pretty much boils down to the grip section. On the Jinho X750, you're going to have a slightly smaller grip section. However, it's going to be less tapered, but on the Jinho X450, you're going to get a sort of grippy section here, and it's a little bit bigger. Honestly, I prefer this pen slightly over this pen, but the cool thing is with these pens is because they have standard number 6 size nibs, you can buy nibs from Goulet pens or just take out other number 6 size nibs and shove them on this pen, and they should fit and work well. Not to say that the stock nib is bad or anything, because the stock nib is actually really good. Note of warning, if you're going to buy one of these nibs, make sure you buy good paper, because these pens are incredibly wet. These pens are incredibly wet, and they will just bleed through paper. One other thing that I should mention is these pens are very well built. They have good lacquer, thick lacquer and everything, as well as really thick threads, metal threads I believe, so there's no way that these pens will break around the threads or anything. These pens can be handled well, they can be thrown away and everything, and they should last, which is more that can be said for a whole bunch of other pens that I didn't include on this list. So there you go. Oh, one other thing, these pens are reliable. They don't skip or anything. They don't railroad. Oh, they do railroad. Getting ahead of myself. These pens are good.